All right, guys, today is December 23rd, and we're going to be reading A Bad Kitty Christmas. This is one of Bella and Maddie and Lena and Millie's favorite books. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the city not a creature was stirring. Bam, crash, kaboom! Except for Bad Kitty. A Bad Kitty Christmas. How did she get here, you may ask yourself? It's a very long story. I'll tell it myself. First thing this morning, I awoke to a clatter. I ran down the stairs and asked, "What's the matter?" That's when I found Kitty in the midst of her caper. She'd torn through the gifts and was covered in paper. The angel was ambushed, the books were all bumped, the cards were all crushed, and drums were all dumped. Then the eggnog was ended, the fruitcake was flung, the gifts were all gutted, the holly unhung. The icicles injured, the jingle bells jumped, Kris Kringle was kicked, the lights were all lumped. The manger was mauled, the nutcracker nailed, the ornaments ousted, the poinsettia paled. The quiet was quashed, the ribbons ripped up, the star was sent swirling, the tree was tipped up. The unicorn uglied, the vixen was vexed, the wreath looked just wrecked, the xylophone X'd, our Yuletide looked yucky, my zeal had been zapped, when I found Kitty in the shreds where she napped. Oh, Kitty, bad Kitty, I'm filled with distress. You've ruined our Christmas. Just look at this mess. All these presents, these were for you. Why did you do it? And Kitty said, mew. Though there were presents and bundles and boxes galore, Kitty was angry. She wanted more. She wanted an ape and a bear and a conchorous dish, a duck and an eagle baked in a fish, a gecko, a horse, an ibish, a jackal, a kiwi and a lion, and a soup with a mackerel. A narwhal, an owl, a penguin on rye, a quetzal, a rabbit, a seahorse in pie, a toad and an urchin, a vole and a whale, a exel and a yak fried with zebra tail. That does it. I've had it. Just look at this place. I don't care if you're mad. Kitty, you're a disgrace. I've never known someone so selfish and greedy. 'Tis the season, you know, to give to the needy. I'd better start cleaning. What will you do? Do you feel like helping? And Kitty said, mew. She was still miffed when we packed up to go on an afternoon trip on Christmas Eve snow, in the Christmas Eve snow. As we left for the city to see Uncle Murray, the window was opened and she left in a hurry. Oh, Kitty, dear Kitty, don't go. You must stay. We shouted and cried as she ran away. But still she abandoned us right there and then. We thought we'd never see Kitty again. Oh no, not puppy too. Come back, come back. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and out on the street I saw a little black cat with little wet feet. She sat in the alley, a path dark and scary. She didn't look jolly, she didn't look merry. She looked as alone as she sat there and pondered, as if she was lost and unsure where she'd wandered. And then she began to meow and to bellow. She cried for a while until I said, hello. What do we have here, a little black cat? Don't you have a home? Let's look into that. There, little cat. It'll be all right. You shouldn't be out in this cold winter's night. I'll take you upstairs and dry off your fur. Would you like some food? And this kitty said, purr. Now, my home's a bit empty. Why, it's practically bare, but I still have a little, and I'm happy to share. I grabbed a clean towel and dried off her back, and set down to a plate with a small tasty snack. Don't you like this old tree, the one on the shelf? Did you know I adorned it all by myself? You won't see any tinsel, not even one light. It only has photos. They're all black and white. Come sit with me, Cat. Let me show you all my folk in my life, all the folk in my life and the people I knew. Here's my Aunt Agnes and my brother Bobby, with dear cousin Clarence and daughter Dottie. That's Edgar and Elder, with my father Frank, next to grandmother Gail and my husband Hank. These are my in-laws, Ike and Ilona, with their two juveniles, John and Joanna. They each had a kid, Kendra and Ken, and the lineage goes on with Landra and Len. Here's my mother Marge with her lovely niece Nan, with her offspring Oscar and her partner Pam. That's Quinn in the quilt, a family heirloom. He's related to Robert, who hails from Cantu. That's my sister Sophie and her twins Tina and Todd, with dear Uncle Upton, who had a nose that was odd. That's Basha, my friend. She's Walter's wife, and he's my son. This last one's my favorite. It's the whole silly gang at Christmas reunion where we laughed and we sang. We met in New York near the end of December. I wrote on the picture so I'd always remember. On here it says, Xmas 1962. We're spending our Yale at Central Park Zoo. This cat looked enchanted while I patted her fur as she stared at each picture there before her. You should know, Cat, that I'm still quite content with only this tree that looks slightly bent. I may not have jewels or cars or a yacht, but I still have my memories, and that's quite a lot. Little Cat, this is what Christmas should be. It's not about stuff from a big spending spree. It's not about presents all over the place. It's not about food or stuffing your face. Like Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and Eid, you'll see Christmas is all about family. Home's where the heart is. That's what I say, or that's what they say. So I'll bet your poor heart feels miles away. Don't fret, little cat. Wipe off that tear. If we can't find your home, then you can stay here. But I could tell that she was homesick. She wanted more. And that's when we heard a scratch at the door. There's someone to see you, you lucky black cat. I think that he knows where your home is at. Like a furry black flash, she flew out the door, and she was moving so fast she did not touch the floor. So I guess you'll be leaving, I said with a sigh. I'm glad I met you. Tell your folks I say hi. So I sat in my chair and put my tree in my lap and settled myself for a long winter's nap. I was happy to know she had a home of her own, but a house of her own. Too bad I'd be spending Christmas alone. But just as I started to slumber and snore, again I heard scratching at my front door. This cat had come back, like she had something to do. What do you want? And Kitty said, "You too." 'Twas the night before Christmas. We were filled with regrets as we sat in our seats missing our pets. Our house seemed so empty without them around. I wished and hoped they were both safe and sound. Then onto the door there rose such a knock, I sprang from my chair from the sudden shock. When what my wandering eyes should appear, but Kitty and Puppy, and a lady most dear. They're home, Christmas is saved. Welcome home, Kitty, I hope you behave. And thank you, dear lady, for bringing them back. I hope that you'll stay for a late Christmas snack. And she did, don't you know. In fact, she moved in. Some friends are like family, and she became kin. Up photo. It's high on the tree, wrapped snug in the branches for all to see. So Kitty is home now. I think that she'll stay. She's gone off to bed to end this long day. This story is over now that everything's right. Merry Christmas to all, slurp, and all a good night. All right, babies, I love you. And remember to say your prayers. Good night.